Hello, my name is Brian Pape. I am an architect and a green design architect and historic preservationist. And I am here for this interview for diabetesdigest.com. And I'm interviewing my wife, Joy Pape, who is a certified diabetes educator. And we're going to talk about walkability in communities and for healthier living. Joy, we're advocates of healthy walking lifestyle, right?
We sure are. You know what turned me on to this is I went to a conference once at the American Diabetes Association, and they were talking about diabetes, and they started talking about the built environment. And the light bulb went on in my head. Oh my gosh, Brian needs to come learn more about this. Well, little did I know you knew plenty about it. But what I got to see and what you have taught me is that we have designed activity out of our life.
Yeah, well, it's a shame, but that's a matter of lifestyle choices, and this is the land of the free. We're making choices every day for ourselves. We might not realize the health ramifications of some of those choices.
Like we hear about choices all the time about food and about activity. So yeah, I can choose what I want to eat and I may choose how active I am. But then as I've learned more about this built environment, and as you've taught me, might not always be able to be that choosy because there's not always somewhere to walk to. If you want to go to a restaurant, how do you normally get there?
Well, that's true. We've lived in big cities and small towns, and we see that everything is built around the car. Everything is planned around the car. And so things are not within good walking distance. So we have to look at that aspect, and we want to encourage people to look at their community and see what kind of choices they can make to get more exercise. Now for some, that might mean driving to a park or somewhere where they can have safe walking for a duration of whatever they choose. And for others, it might be that they can walk around their community. And so looking for those opportunities is what we would encourage people to do, as we do.
And what you've also taught me is that sometimes you have to get involved in government to make changes in communities, to make our communities more walkable. And what about, remember when we went to that conference and there was a talk on education, how they build schools on the edge of town? The children can't even walk to school anymore. When we do talks and we ask people who in this classroom, who in this room walk to school, and all the hands go up, and then what happens when we ask them about their children?
Well, almost no hands go up because their children are being driven to school. Their schools are on the edge of town, so they're oftentimes not even safe to walk to. And as I found out in the town that I was living in, the school board had banned children, grade school children, from riding their own bikes to school because they felt it was too dangerous. So there was a case where the rules were made so that they couldn't even get that much exercise.
And so, as we know, this has to be part of this obesity that we see in children. But also, the good news is things are changing. You do see people being more aware, more alert, and things are changing. Maybe not quick enough for us, but things are changing.
Right. Many communities are making their streets more walkable, sidewalks and intersections made more safe, or more parks that have longer trails for walking.
Now, another way that people make their community more walkable is sometimes getting together walking groups and walking as a group places. Now, you and I both wear a pedometer all the time, and that helps.
Absolutely.
That helps us help us get more steps in every day.
Well, that's right. When we have our pedometers on, we're going to be monitoring how much walking we do, and these are very accurate, and we can have something to tell us when we have been very sedentary for a particular day. So it's a very important tool.
Right. These last few weeks, it's been so rainy, it's this pedometer that's gotten me out. I think I can't go to bed with no steps, and I get out, or I start dancing around the house and do something to get us more steps.
Right. You can do things in the house too. You don't have to be outside in order to get exercise. So anything that can be done within your own schedule, within your own lifestyle. We often say, well, we choose not to join a gym because we find that we don't take a time out of our day to get prepared, go to a gym, all of the changes of clothes or whatever it takes, and then coming back, we're more likely to get exercise if we just incorporate it into our regular routine.
Right. For example, we made sure that we live close to a supermarket, that we live close to things we can do so that we can make that our daily outing. I know for me...
And then we walk.
Right, and then we walk there.
And sometimes we get off the elevator at the floor short of where we're going so that we can walk some steps. Or we might get off the bus before our stop so that we can walk a little bit to our destination.
So I think what you're saying is no matter what community you live in, we can make that more walkable by making some decisions to walk more.
Absolutely. It's up to everybody individually to see what they can do to help themselves.
That's right. And do it together to make a community. Thank you, Brian, for teaching me so much.
Well, it's been great having a walking partner. Thank you, Joy.